execution. I don't think the draft was an issue. I feel like the draft was very well done. And, you know, I would even go as far as to say that Papra Supermassive just played better in game one, right? They were making smarter decisions. They were making appropriate adjustments to deal with TLID, and that's based off of what they learned yesterday about certain draft archetype. And now you see the respect given from both teams. Lucas banned by TLID, Harith banned by Papra Supermassive, Suyo will be snap picked once more for Fabian.
Yeah, Jawhead Hilda is up. Papra Supermassive might be able to pick the Jawhead up again because it created so much momentum, so much pressure for that. But they want the Badang in the end. So giving the Jawhead over to Witty might be a big option right here.
Yeah, there is a chance that Witty goes for the Jawhead or even the Cho, right? The Cho is also still open. But they're going to make the adjustment. So Jawhead comes through, the Tsusin gets picked up as well. So this is a very different adjustment, right? Like by Badang hates dealing with people like Tsusin because sure, I can dash away, but if Badang doesn't have the fist crack dash or the flicker, you're a sitting duck. He's also sort of like an all-in hero. Jawhead and Tsusin makes it very hard for him to navigate the way he wants to do so. So Hayabusa is going to be the response. Hard to catch, hard to pin down, has iframes.
Now, a little bit difficult for the Hayabusa to reach onto the Juicin. Team Liquid ID hasn't picked up the marksman yet, but I am damn well sure they're going to ban out an Irithel right here, just because they want Xiao to have a winning lane. And then TLID might be able to pick up maybe a Bruno, because we always see like that Bruno against the Harith or the Granger, so that might be an option as well. Or in this case, okay, so what's open left in Papra Supermassive? You got the EXP side already set, or the Badang could always go into the roam, or you have the mid side. So banning out the Farsa, banning out the Valentina might be a big factor for them, or a Sicilian.
The Matilda is still open. There's no room for Matilda for TLID, but there is definitely room for Papra Supermassive to pick her up. Currently, this draft, you probably won't be thinking much about Matilda anyways, because it doesn't make as much sense, to run a Matilda in this draft. But unless Papra Supermassive has something up their sleeves, right, like Bloodfed. But I feel like Bloodfed is more of a in-your-face kind of player, so I think we might see a game where Matilda just completely gets let through. I would say, to your point of Tigro is a good shout also, but I would say to your point of Hayabusa being a bit hard to get out of Tsusin, it kind of works both ways, right? Like Tsusin generally hates assassins, and Hayabusa can stick onto her and actually threaten her and take her out. Good fireman's ban from TLID. They definitely don't want to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be a death ball anymore, because the Hayabusa is right there, so they don't really have that firepower that they need, or the tanking power. So Papra Supermassive are going to be playing a little bit more passive with this roster. They only have the Badang for that front wall, but it's the Edith that we see right now for TLID. I think Iran actually likes the Edith quite a bit, especially since they're able to just reflect that damage that's brought onto herself. So this might be a good call. So Aaron Shiki with the last pick. Irithel? Yep. There we go.
Yeah, so TLID got to lock in for this one. Irithel is definitely a very good hero, because it's very hard for Papra Supermassive to catch them with the current hero. But they go the Sicilian Carmilla. The love burst being brought out for potentially the last game of this series. Man, I'm loving this because it's still pretty darn hard to catch the Irithel. But man, these team fights, you get caught in the curse of blood, you disappear. So Papra Supermassive, I think they're onto something. Bossfed Carmilla, probably the first and last time we'll see it.
Yeah, it's a really strong draft from Papra Supermassive. I really like that Camilla last pick. Very wild card, and they're looking happy on their faces. They know how this is going to play out. But, draft is set. Any last words before we jump into the game, Husky?
I think both teams actually coming out with very different archetypes of draft, right? Compared to game one, this is a very different approach. Papra Supermassive, they want to play scrappy, but TLID, they also have the capacity to do so as well. Catching Aaron Shiki is going to be a tough task that Papra Supermassive needs to figure out the way to do.
Well, game number 2, Battlefield's already. The players are feeling happy as we're jumping in down. Papra Supermassive 1 game away from a clean sweep against one of the top touted teams in the world. And TLID has to find it in themselves to be able to come back from that loss earlier. So how is this gonna go? You have the duo Lovebirds down on the mid side for Papa Supermassive, but it's gonna be difficult to throw on that Curse of Blood.
Yeah. Then also this Sicilian pick kind of works exactly somewhat like a Xavier when you're up against a Jusin. You have generally longer range compared to a Jusin. So Jusin, like your HQ is going to struggle a little bit just getting close to After Dark, and every time you get into range, you're going to get pulled back by Sanguine Claw. Good force of the Purify by Fabian, so After Dark will need to be a bit more careful right now that Witty is around.
Yeah, no Purify at all. After Dark caught out and disintegrated. TLID picks up that first kill.
Not really sure if Wasa made the call out to his team that Edith was missing, because they did have to commit a flicker, so can't really blame After Dark for dying. But Liquid ID, you can see the adjustments already. They want to shut down the Sicilian and make sure that he doesn't get much going.
Wasa misses the fist crack, but that onward forces Wasa to use that flicker out of the way. But here comes Moji, runs down low, no onward for him. Might not be able to have enough damage as well, but they touch and they go. Around living with a sliver. As Fabian takes down Bloodsfet on that back line, unable for Papa Supermassive to be able to protect the Carmilla.
Wait, did Moji not have Shadow Q? Why didn't he commit it? He spent time auto-attacking around to stack the passive and he just backs off? Maybe his Shadow was running out, so he caused the death of Bloodsfet, which is pretty odd. The turtle should be secured by TLID. Fabian is up 2-0. You don't really want to fight him. Papa Supermassive will have to play from behind a little bit.
Yeah, it really does not feel good if you're hitting the back foot, especially in 2 minutes of the game. As Bloodsfet coming in, uses the Cyclone Eye, and onwards onto Moji though. He will be taken down. He might be able to get that Shadow out of the way, but Team Liquid ID ramping up the aggression in game number 2. 3 kills to none for Papa Supermassive. Might not be able to find anything as Wasa tries his desperate best to be able to find a loose member. But I do want to pick your brains just a little bit. Fabian does have a lot of damage, but speaking of which, going in for that top side, Xiao underneath that turret once again. Fabian unable to get that last kill off of Xiao. Aran blocking off all entrance. Will eventually go down by the hands of Aran though. Bloodspet there. Curse of Blood will unleash, but will only trap one. Aran will get taken out as well. It's 1-1, but it's not a very good trade for Papa Supermassive, losing out Xiao. A little bit slow on that rotation.
Not too bad. Xiao actually got a straight kill onto Witty, so I mean, still some goal. Ideally, you don't want to go down, but Xiao stayed alive longer than he should have been and allowed backup to come in and take a run out. So, in hindsight, it's actually a 1-for-2 trade. Wasa almost gets the full planing down bottom. You know what? It's actually not too bad for Papa Supermassive. Right? Like TLID, when you stick together as a team of 5, you're sharing experience, you're sharing goal. But the fact that Papa Supermassive is trading upwards makes it not good for TLID. You allow Wasa to recover in lane, despite him being behind. And Moji also gets to recover a little bit. Liquid ID, they gotta be a bit smarter with these rotations, right? Sticking together as 5 isn't gonna cut it.
But it's sort of like a taste of their own medicine. Lose out on the side wave turrets, but you win out on a lot of the team fights and try to get one member down, especially before that next turtle spawns up. But the Jawhead dealing a lot of work, trying to identify a little bit of situation down in the bush. Will get taken out by Moji though. Aran next on a chopping block, but will not be able to get taken down. He's got a Primal Wrath, taking down that Carmilla. Bloodspite goes down as well as Team Liquid ID tries to get a little bit of consolation prize before this turtle take.
Okay, so they trade roamers. Wasa needs to be very careful. If Aran flips him, he's straight up dead.
Oh, a little bit too soon though. Moji take a little bit too much damage. We'll get that Shadow out of the way, but it's a little bit too close for comfort there, Husky.
Holy cow, that crossbow. If that was a heavy crossbow crit or something, he would have straight up died. Moji getting away. Should be able to get the buff and recall. Good attempt on the turtle steal. They didn't really lose anything much. TLID only has a 1k gold lead. Papa Supermassive goes for the reset down bottom as well. Bloodsfet on the top side. Xiao gets the gold crab. So all things considered is pretty good. The only person suffering right now is the guy who was keeping Papa Supermassive in the game in game 1, and that is After Dark. He needs some time. Liquid ID making them move topside again, but Papa Supermassive, they know it this time. They know that TLID, they're not on the map again. They're definitely going to be going topside because Moji is blocking bot.
Jawhead is so disruptive, especially in all these team fights, but eventually he lost his life in the second turtle down the dot bush, but it doesn't really matter because the damage was done by him. Conceal play over after Dark, tries to push him back out of the way. The backup won't come fast enough. You got the Curse of Blood only landing on the Heskil, but it's not enough. You got Shiki in the middle of the crossfire, saving Witty, sacrificing your own gold laner for the roam. It doesn't really matter as of now, but man, that was a huge blunder, Husky.
That was an absolute huge blunder. You know what hurts the most? After Dark didn't even have to use his Purify for that. Like, Witty went in so deep. He went in so deep. Aaron Shiki popped sprint and committed, and he got sold by his roamer. Now Xiao got the Sky Piercer, and he gets the top tier 1. This is disastrous for TLID. But the contingency plan is to play the sideways like they did in game 1. They play sideways in the bottom with Fabian creating pressure, but again, they gotta be a bit smarter with these moves. You can't just keep trading like this.
You split up all these team fights. You've got a Lantern onto After Dark, getting poked back into the onward. Will not be able to survive that one as Aaron Shiki picks up another kill from After Dark. The turtle already spawned up, but Papa Supermassive yet again playing and defending those side lane split pushes. I think this is going to be one of their downfalls unless Bloodspat lands a huge Curse of Blood. So far, I don't see any chain members getting locked up by that curse.
Yeah, but it is a big deterrent in these team fights. I gotta say, After Dark, I just praised him for not having to use Purify, and then he uses it wrongly against the Juicing Lid. You have to use it the moment you get lifted up. But clearly, he's late on the trigger finger, ends up going down when he didn't need to. So they lost pressure top side. Top tier 1 goes down. Mid turret gets destroyed, gets damaged. They lose the turtle too. And Liquid ID, they get almost a 2k net worth gain just off of that one sequence.
Yeah, doesn't look good, especially in the bottom side. Fabian's all alone and getting stunned up, but Papa Supermassive will make quick work of that T1 as the rest of TLID come in to block off the approach coming in. Xiao getting caught in a little bit, onward onto him. Xiao forced to use that flicker out of the way. The Curse of Blood lands on 3, but it's not enough damage as of now. Papa Supermassive will be able to escape for now as Moji taking a little bit too much damage as well. And TLID lives to sing a song another day.
Wow, actually all of them got out. Very good for Papa Supermassive. They will lose bot tier 2 though. Not really what they want, but this is the situation that they found themselves in game 1 where they were kind of losing on the macro side. Although this time they did keep the holy defense alive. Wasa making it to the wait in time. Liquid ID, you can see the idea of this draft, they're playing really fast. That's something that we pointed out after looking at the draft. But Papa Supermassive, they're trying to keep up, but they just don't have the resistance.
Bloodspat annihilated After Dark. Next on the chopping block, Moji able to use that shadow to dash out away into your Hesku though. He's getting pulled back into the fray. And Papa Supermassive loses 3 members. Xiao Wasa all alone left to defend as 15 seconds till the next Lord spawns up. TLID, this is the signs of life. This is what the TLID that we remember.
Papa Supermassive needs to start understanding that TLID, when they play together as 5, they are deadly. This is a death ball comp, just like what Papa Supermassive did in game 1, but has so much loaded damage and catch, right? Something that Papa Supermassive they aren't really equipped to deal with. Who is going to stop a run or Witty from flickering onto the face? Literally no one. And whoever gets caught just straight up dies. So Papa Supermassive, they gotta turtle a little bit, get that stack to Sicilian, get this Granger online even more before considering fighting TLID head on.
This is really tricky because it's all scripted onto Papa Supermassive's advantage, right? Because as long as they defend, Bloodspat can land a nice Curse of Blood. You got a nice Winter Crown right there for your Heskil. Get onto that Shadow. The Shadow kill will take him out in the end.
Very well
TLID loses 1 member. Very well done by Moji.
Yeah. Good stuff from Witty also, tossing the cannon minion right in front of the inhibitor to break that holy defense. So it's gonna... So it means that this Lord is going to come in at full health and no one is stopping him. But again, you have a Sicilian. The defense is pretty solid with the wave clear. Sicilian and Granger, not the easiest one to break through. So Lord will be taken care of. Bottom wave cleared out by Moji. Oracle picked up by Wasa too. Haven't yet seen him make a big play with the Fist Crack Flicker, but so far Papa Supermassive holding up pretty well.
Yeah, Team Liquid ID not making it easy for Supermassive. They know that Carmela's in play. They know that they can't stick together as much as they want to. But it's the only way that they can win, right? It's only team fights for Team Liquid ID, as much as Papa Supermassive is very well drafted for a defensive approach. When you come a little bit closer, you coagulate together, that's the curse of luck linking everyone up. I think they're waiting for that right opportunity, but their luck might run out soon.
It's a draft that you need to keep on going. You need to keep on stepping on the gas to make sure that you always have a man advantage in these team fights. That's how Liquid ID has been winning fights, right? Isolate the target, making sure that they always have a man advantage. Now they're gonna try after that. What is a trick shot and what the hell was that?
Aaron Shiki with the combo though. Physical defense nowhere to be seen. Immediately annihilating After Dark. But now TLID has the upper hand. You got the Fat Wave pushing in as well as Witty tries to push them all aside. Without the Sicilian, it might really break that Camel's back.
Personally, would have expected the damage to be that devastating. But they did clear the mid wave, so Holy Shield will stand for now. After Dark is coming back. They should be able to defend this.
Good Immortality already built by Witty. They will have that discipline to back out of the way, knowing that Sicilian is right there. After Dark doesn't want to mess with... You don't want to mess with After Dark in this case, but now 30 seconds until Lord spawns up. What's the play for Team Liquid ID to break through the defenses that Papa Supermassive has built?
I think you get Lord, right? The next Lord is going to be your key in breaking inhibitors and really getting a good grasp of the macro control. Papa Supermassive, they neutralize all the waves, in fact. So all the waves are resetted. Here comes Conceal.
Conceal. He spotted Witty. They will let him go for now. This was a little bit more premature, so no more Conceal play, no more aggressive approaches from Papa Supermassive. 7,000 gold behind. Seeping into 8. Do you think it's wise for Papa Supermassive to be able to contest for this one? Yes, they do have the Hayabusa, but you've seen what happened in the second turtle of today's game, where he just dashes in. The onward was there to just lock him out.
I think they had the same thought as you as well, right? Top wave was set up by Aaron Shiki, so they had to deal with it and they understood that there's no point in testing. They just have the turtle. Orion actually committing the flicker to try and catch Moji, but missing the Earth Shatter, so that's flicker down for 2 minutes. Moji, I think, still got his purple buff, thankfully. Fabian getting the Queen's Wings, a bit more durable. Lord will come in top side. That should break the inhibitor.
Bloodspet getting a little bit more intel, but even the Carmilla alone can't defend against the damage coming in from Aaron Shiki. So the Erythel is going to be a very, very big problem as of now. But Papa Supermassive, if they manage to find Aaron Shiki out of any of these team fights, any of these engages as the Lord marching down that top side, they might be able to find a win. So Conceal play by Witty, going into Bloodspet, throws up Moji in underneath the turret. Moji going down low, the Curse of Blood lands off the turret, locks them all taking down Aaron Shiki. That's their window of opportunity as Papa Supermassive needs to retreat, take down that Lord first before any approach, buys himself some time. But with that, the goal lead has diminished. It's not by much, but enough to keep them afloat. For now, a little bit premature, a little bit too gung-ho by Witty.
You know what? I think it's probably planned. You know, they throw bodies to take an inhibitor. I feel like that inhibitor take was guaranteed anyways. You look at this replay, right? Clearly down in way too deep. Witty is go down. Curse of Blood catches Aaron Shiki and he gets blown up by a flicker. Fist crack into a fist break too by Wasa. And now, Papa Supermassive, they're gonna walk forward. They're gonna start taking space. Mid-tier 1 finally goes down. Now they get more space to breathe on the map. And remember, Shuros, last game we said that, you know, it's Bloodspet and Wasa, they have ways to catch people. And Wasa is sort of like the win condition of getting these flicker engages with the Badang. This game, he definitely has to be that man because Bloodspet, he doesn't have the capability to just walk up and catch someone, right? Curse of Blood needs time to channel. But Wasa, he still has the surprise factor. So if anything, if Wasa catches someone, if he catches Aaron Shiki and blows him up, the game essentially just skews towards Papa Supermassive. And he has the Winter Crown to help him do that.
Don't forget the interaction between Bloodspet and After Dark. So you got the Carmilla and Sicilian combo. You're able to just hold on to the Carmilla in your body and throw her out when TLID least expects it. So good conversion right there on the T1 mid, giving a little bit more breathing room for Papa Supermassive, but they're back on that defense. I think banking a little bit too much on that late game Sicilian. Take a look at the stacks. It's still 174, not that much. He got 684 stacks on that Granger, so I really like this from the prod. Able to look at that stacks as well. So you got the Sky Piercer, but no stacks as of yet. Xiao got it a little bit too late or unable to find a kill for himself.
I would say that this is sort of the infinite scaling comp, right? Both your cores can scale to infinity and beyond, and they are just going to get stronger the longer the game goes on, especially after dark. Like, he's about to hit 200 stacks. Like, it's a bit slower than what you would have liked as a Sicilian, but at one point he's going to start two-shotting Aaron Shiki and Yehescu, and even Fabian if they get caught. So this is going to get more and more dangerous. We'll see how they deal with this Lord take, though. It's not going to be easy for Papra to just walk up.
Yeah, 5,000 gold lead or 5,000 gold behind as Bloodspec tries to look for two members. They need to be able to find Aaron Shiki. There's a flank and the conceal Aaron Shiki on that back line.
After dark.
They suck out Wiggy. Tries to block him all with that fist crack. He his skill blocked out in the middle, but Aaron Shiki back on that back line. He's doing so much damage. He goes down as well. 2 down for Team Liquid ID.
Oh no!
3. Fabian goes down as well. The immortality already popped up. There's 4 members left, and they're leading the charge. The fist crack from Wasa just blocked off. Yehescu wasn't there at all. That was a very good concept, but the execution from Papa Supermassive was just insane. You're able to just cycle this through, though. Yehescu with the crown will be taken out by Xiao, though. You got 20 seconds on the clock.
Wait, they can run it down.
When he spawns up, maybe, just maybe, Aran. Oh,
they can.
He's still there. It might be possible though. Husky, what's going on? It's 5 seconds till Winnie spawns up. They're going straight to that base. They don't have the minions. They don't have minions anymore. Because of Bloodlands, but the minions just disintegrate. Emoji gets executed as well. What is going on right here? Now Fabian's already spawned up. They lost Moji. The Lord will be for the taking for TLID. A very good engage, very good counter engage by Aaron Shiki, but they just blew it in the end.
Oh man, Aran saved the game. He killed off the cannon minion in time because Papra Supermassive, they were using bodies to try and keep that minion alive for as long as possible. Although I would say maybe they should have went for the end. They should have just taken the inhibitor and went straight to Lord. That was the smarter choice. That could have guaranteed them a lead or an advantage in a macro sense. But with the Lord going over to TLID, they essentially just saved themselves from another upset by Papra Supermassive. All things considered, Wasa, again, heroic plays to stop the flank. He couldn't stop the unstoppable force with the fist crack, but he sure as hell was the reason that Aaron Shiki and Fabian died. Fabian came up for immortality, tried to use his blazers, gets hit by the fist break and staggered into the wall and got bursted down. These micro movements from Papra Supermassive are really starting to hurt TLID. But thankfully, TLID has the Lord. They can break on inhibitors and maybe take the win off of that.
Speaking of the Lord breaking already through the perimeters, as Papa Supermassive back on that defense, keeping that Lord at bay. You have After Dark with the Crimson Claws trying to catch any one member at all. You also got Bloodspec readying and holding on to the Curse of Blood. Unable to find anything as of yet. Team Liquid ID from an 8,000 gold lead down to 1,500. That is a huge dismemberance from Papa Supermassive. A successful defense as Team Liquid ID backs off. A huge discipline from them as well.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter at this point. Those net worth, it's only for item swappings. The only advantage that Liquid ID has is that they have the top inhibitor still standing. So that top wave is going to constantly push in. The problem is, Lord is spawning top side, so you don't really have a long lane advantage. Unless they can somehow sneak away this bottom inhibitor and permanently damage the lane equilibrium of Papra Supermassive. And the run is in this spot. He sees this happening. So some intel given over to TLID. This is not over yet for Papra Supermassive, right? They can definitely come back from this. It was a costly decision just now to try and go for a forced end, but because the Lord is spawning top side, they don't have too much pressure to deal with as long as that bottom wave doesn't get shoved in.
Yeah, like you said, it's just pin drop silence on the battlefield, on the Land of Dawn, as TLID doesn't want to make a move. And Xiao using Rhapsody just to check on that brushes, knows where Aran is at that point. They might not want to contest for this purple buff, but look at where Aaron Shiki and Witty are on that flank again.
Yep.
And Papa Supermassive needs to be able to handle and manage those side waves. This has been their Achilles heel the entirety of the group stage run. But now they're all evened out, 12 to 12 kills. The gold lead negligible at this point. And Papa Supermassive might be able to find a way to enter that Lord, but they have all possible potentials for a backdoor approach from Liquid ID.
Liquid ID is setting up this Lord pretty well. bottom wave will only be handled right now. Lord is going to spawn. It's not easy to blitz it down. It's an evolved Lord. This flank angle is nasty, right? If they can pull it off, it's a guaranteed win. Wasa sees it. Lord down a half already. What is their move?
Yep.
Wasa!
Thing started out. Fist crack onto Fabian. Go to Winter Crown just to negate the Curse of Blood. Down low. Moji will pick up that kill. But on the back line, Eroshiki is trying to deal as much damage as he can. And he has kill. Not enough damage anymore. Eroshiki goes down as well. His 3 members down for the side of TLID. The 4 members, Papa Massive, they're not playing anymore. They've got damage. They lost Xiao, but after Dark is there. They learned their lesson though. They don't want to follow on through with that engage as they set their sights up on that Lord. Moji goes for that back line, unable to find a kill onto Yeheskill. Get the charge onto Moji, Winter Crown in the nick of time. The last ditch effort to try to take down Witty. Witty buying some time. He's got an immortality. So he won't be able to go down, but Yeheskill might. Moji's just waiting there for the Crimson Beacon, getting out of the way, but not enough. There's all 5 members making a beeline for that throne. You got 7 seconds till Fabian comes up. I don't think he can do anything. But this might be it against all odds. The last game of Group A, Papa Supermassive defied our expectations, defied our predictions, and defied the world as Turkey makes it big. It takes a victory, a clean sweep over Indonesia.